Hey guys, how you doing? So tonight I'm going to be doing somewhat of an impromptu beer review. While I'm here in Vermont, I did get a very special beer sent to me from none other than Mike Dean of the Dean's List. He sent me up the Calcutta Nectar. If you read the description on this one, first take a look at that imagery. Cool stuff. So this was a bit of a collaboration that he and I worked on, and I see that he also mentions Nate McKee on this one, which I didn't have any communications with, but it seems Mike did. But this one is an IPA, 69 IBUs, 6.6%, and the inspiration for this beer was trying to actually recreate this beer, the Goose Island IPA. The recipe for the Goose Island IPA was provided as one of the recipes that's in Mitch Steele's IPA book. So based on the notes in that book, we sort of deduced that it had Pilgrim hops in it, it had Selena, and possibly Cascade or Centennial. Not sure which one of those. I'll have to go back and look at it. But anyways, I can't wait to sort of crack this one open and go ahead and crack into it. Look at that. You can see it's crystal clear back there in the bottle. So let's go ahead, get it into the glass, and we'll share the experience. Good hiss on this one. Pouring nice and clear. Pretty sure this is off the keg. Looks like it's great carbonation coming out of there. Wow. Look at that. That's just spot on. It's got the condensation because I did just take it out of the fridge. But look at that. That's just a beautiful, beautiful beer. Let's go ahead and get the aroma. Oh, very nice. Some floral and a bit of citrus. Very, very, very nice. That actually does remind me of the Goose Island. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sample this one, and then we're going to crack open the Goose Island IPA one and try them side by side. But based on my memory, this one is very, very close. Thanks a lot, Mike, for sending this up to me. Cheers. That's a beautiful IPA. I love that. It's got a nice light medium mouth feel on that one. Carbonation is just spot on. It's got no off flavors of any way, shape, or form. It's got nice, beautiful melding of both floral and citrus. I can get a little bit of something like melon out of there as well. Let's go in for another sip. The ever slightest hint of tobacco. Just, I mean, like a sliver. It's almost nothing there, but that's something that came to mind when I'm thinking about as I tasted it. And that would be like, earthy, the earthy sort of tones to it. I love that. I think that's such a beautiful flavor profile. It blends really, really well together, and it's not like there are any flavors that are competing with each other. It's such a beautiful blend. It just melds together really, really nicely. And I think it's very smooth. The bittering on it is very, very nice. It's a light bittering, but it's got that really big, bold sort of IPA flavor profile with it, and it continues to linger for a little while. So that's an attractive component, I think, to a nice IPA, is that sort of whether it's citrusy or grapefruity or floral or earthy or whatever, those tones, if they stick with you a while, I like that about the beer. I don't have to constantly sip on it if the flavor goes away too quickly, if you know what I mean. So let's go ahead, crack open the Goose Island IPA and compare. Now I know that the malt profile on these are slightly different, whereas we don't have access to the one malt that was defined that is used actually for this one. You can see this one's nice, brilliant, clear. It's got a dark yellow or a light orange hue to it, and the reason this color, according to the recipe in Mitch Steele's book, is that it's one malt. It's a single malt, and it's an ESB pale malt. I believe Gambris is the only manufacturers of the malt that's used in order to make this. And of course, the color on it, the EBC or the SRM, is a little bit darker than your normal pale malt. You know, more closer to like a darker Maris Otter, but that's why they call it the ESB pale malt. And so instead, I think Mike he did use Maris Otter, but he also used a little bit of aromatic in order to bring the color a little bit darker than what a normal pale malt or two-row that he could get his hands on would do. So you can see in terms of the color, they're very, very close. This one is just slightly darker though, but wow, pretty close. Let's go ahead and get the aroma on the Goose Island IPA. You know what? It's more prevalent. The aroma is definitely more prevalent on the homebrew. I do get a hint of citrus, and just a little bit of solventy actually on the real deal. Let's go ahead and dive in and get the flavor. Okay, definitely a lighter body, and in comparison, the flavor, definitely more hoppy flavor in the Calcutta Nectar, and so the aroma is less, the flavor on the Goose Island IPA is less than the Calcutta one. Cheers. It's got a nice earthy, just a hint of floral, so it's more earthy and floral with the Goose Island IPA. And dare I say that it actually has some lageristic characteristics to it, so some lager profile characteristics in the flavor. Coming back to the Calcutta Nectar, definitely more of the citrusy, and now in comparison I'm actually picking out a little bit more pine, just a little bit of pine in comparison out of the Calcutta Nectar. So strong floral, hint of citrus, a little bit of pine, and melding together really, really well. You can see those guys. There you can see it's slightly darker on this one. But there you go. So that's it. Those are my tasting notes on these guys. Which one do I prefer? I'm not shitting you. I wouldn't do that to you. But I do prefer the Calcutta Nectar because it is a little bit more body to it. Just a hint. Right, so it's got that light medium body mouthfeel to it, which I like in an IPA. It's got more aromatics to it, and it definitely has more and a better flavor profile. So cheers to that. Thanks a lot, Mike Dean, for sending this out to me. Really appreciate it. Yeah, he sent me 4, so this is one of 4 that I get to enjoy, and I will be sharing the others here with some friends in Vermont. So cheers, good job. Really, really good job. You should be proud of this one.